Hello and welcome. I'm Katrina Pratt Roebuck, and I am the founder and CEO of Uplifme. Uplifme is a national resource hub that provides information on social service events happening across the country that address the social determinants of health. So we also highlight the great work of organizations here in Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. So today I have with me Brandon Trombetta, and he is the Executive Director of the Keystone Opportunity Center. So Brandon, welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Katrina. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So can you tell us about the Keystone Opportunity Center and the work that you do?
Yes, so Keystone Opportunity Center was founded in 2009 whenever the Indian Valley Housing Center and the Indian Valley Opportunity Corporation merged.
Okay.
Keystone was founded to provide a range of social services designed to help people become and remain self-sufficient. In our milieu, we have a case management program that is available to anyone who needs assistance within the community or outside of our general area, where we will connect them with information, referrals, resources, or just support as they're working through the things they're doing. We do have a housing program that offers 19 units of affordable housing to people living in the northern Montgomery County area and Bucks County areas.
Okay.
Those are very important because, as everyone who's aware, working within the housing authorities, the wait list is very long. And while you're waiting for something to come up, you need somewhere to live that is safe and affordable for you and your family.
Sure.
We have a food pantry, a food program that provides food pantry services to 260 families every month living in or around the Souderton Area School District. And in a partnership with Phil Abundance, we offer a Fresh for All program, which every Tuesday we distribute 3,500 pounds of fresh produce into the community in a drive-through fashion.
Wow.
And finally, we have an adult education program that provides a mix of ESL, naturalization prep, and GED prep classes to anyone living in Montgomery County or along the Bucks-Mont border, just trying to help them become more employable so that they can support they and their family a little bit better through increased employment.
That's fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about the folks that are eligible to receive your services? You mentioned a number of different items, so housing, workforce development, and fresh fruits and vegetables. Can you talk about who is eligible to receive services?
That's where things get a little bit complicated because who's eligible is dependent on the program.
Okay.
So for our food pantry services, our funding requires that people live in or in the very immediate area around the Souderton School District.
Okay.
We do have some private donations that come in that purchase food for our food pantry, so we can serve people outside of that area. However, what we'll do is whenever somebody comes to us and needs food, you will leave with food. But
Mhm.
generally, what we'll do is we'll give you a referral for an organization closer to home that can provide you food on a more regular basis than coming to Keystone to get it.
Okay.
Through our Fresh for All program, the drive-through produce, that's open to anyone in the community.
Mhm.
People living with low incomes or in food insecurity, people drive up and they leave with a 20 to 30 pound box of fresh produce every week.
And so those folks, do they have to show that they live in the area? Do they have to show any paper with the income requirements to meet that income threshold?
So in our food pantry, yes, there are income requirements and that self-certification. In our Fresh for All program, we don't, given the nature of it and the way that it was set up, we don't ask any questions. People come up, they receive food, and they drive away.
That's wonderful to receive 20 to 30 pounds of foods. That's significant.
It's very significant.
Yeah, I'm sure people really appreciate that. Can you talk a little bit more about, you spoke about helping people to become more employable. Can you talk a little bit about how folks can engage in that program?
So our education program is a partner with the Pennsylvania Department of Education.
Okay.
And our school year runs, it just started up last week, but we do offer a mix of different services, different options for people to become more employable. So for people whom English may not be your first language, we do help you through an immersive ESL program, learn English and become fluent in it to help you with that much. Through our naturalization prep, people who are going through the process of become naturalized, we do support them through educational opportunities along those lines. And for people who, for whatever reason, may not have finished their high school education, we do offer a GED prep class and also GED testing to help people achieve those goals. And as I said, our education department, we're a Title II provider in
Mm.
Montgomery County, and we're able to serve anyone in Montgomery County or along the Bucksmont border. And we do offer both in-person and virtual classes to people who qualify.
Oh, that's helpful that folks can have options in terms of receiving the services. And can you also talk about, you've mentioned a little bit earlier about the housing resources you have. Were you saying that those are permanent housing resources or temporary housing resources?
So they are permanent housing.
Okay.
We're moving toward a permanent supportive housing. However, depending on the situations, it may be a matter that somebody just needs support for a short period of time while they get themselves back on their feet. And then once they're able to do that, they are able to move on into market rate housing, and we can take our housing and then move more people into it who are in need of housing support.
So that is a really comprehensive list of services that your organization provides. Can you talk a little bit about perhaps something folks might not know that you'd like folks to know about what your organization does?
I think that the most important thing for people to realize is during the pandemic, Keystone became known as a food provider. And a lot of people in and around the area know Keystone simply as a food pantry or a food program.
Mhm.
And starting to talk to people now about the different things that we offer, whenever I mention our housing, ESL case management, people are surprised about it because, again,
Mhm.
they just assumed that Keystone was just food because that was our biggest support system during the pandemic. So I just want people to know that while we do provide food support, we do offer a whole range of other services in an effort to help people and families become self-sufficient.
So, and can you talk a little bit, I guess, also in that same vein, perhaps, are there any projects or anything you're looking to accomplishing in the coming year?
So I think what I would say is that we're hoping to accomplish some different things, some new things in the near future. With our education program, we're in talks right now internally about potentially adding some other support systems, some other classes that
Hmm.
outside of our traditional ones, such as a digital literacy course or something that's going to help teach people skills needed to be
Hmm.
competitive in the workforce today. We're also the biggest challenge for people in the community now is housing. Housing supports are needed everywhere.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of different things that we're looking at right now, working with a couple of other organizations, exploring the possibility of tiny homes and
Hmm.
potentially using those as a source for housing supports while people become more employable or get back on their feet.
Sure.
Uh, we are working with Univest Bank right now. We're evaluating a couple of properties that they own, potentially taking those on, which would become 9 more units of affordable housing that we can offer the community at different ways. And finally, working with with a lot of different people, uh, um, we're working toward taking a current property and turning it into an educational ranch,
Yeah.
where it would offer a lot of opportunities to to accomplish a lot of things. First, it would give us an opportunity to teach people skills and things like that that they don't have right now. So such as carpentry skills, automotive skills, culinary arts,
Mhm.
but also any and all other certificate programs that may be out there to help them become more employable to support themselves. In northern Montgomery County, it's somewhat of a resource desert. If you need access to the Department of Public Welfare or the Health Department, you have to travel to Norristown or Pottstown. And for some people, that's a stretch with their limited resources or even transportation needs. So, taking some spaces and turning it into a shared resource space so that community providers from across the county can have a presence in northern Montgomery County, not only for people who are on this site, but anyone in the community so that they can access the resources they need to either become stably housed or remain in their homes. And finally, using some of the other space in this in the project to create short-term housing for people who are currently unhoused and finding the way to get people off the street connected with resources so that they can become housed again and live safely in their own home.
So that's fantastic that you all are figuring out ways to make resources more accessible and available, particularly in an area that it sounds like doesn't have a transportation system that perhaps is as robust in Philadelphia, where you can kind of get to a lot of places. So I really appreciate the thoughtfulness around trying to make sure that people are able to access your resources, in particular more rural or less dense geographically areas where it's harder for people to access services. So with all of that, and the wonderful work that you all do. I'm sure that your organization can always use donations and perhaps volunteers. So can you talk a little bit about how folks can support your program and support your organization?
Absolutely. So, first, in terms of we are accepting donations to support our overall mission.
Okay.
To make a donation, you can either you reach out to us by phone 215-723-5430, and we're happy to talk to you about the ways you'd like to get involved and donate to our program. You can go to our website, keystoneopportunity.org, and from there you can get to our donate page and support our mission in that way. Uh, and also looking at again, we provide a food service, so we do accept donations of food and
Okay.
other items that are needed within the community. What I would say is that if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to us. Happy to talk to you about the different opportunities, different things that we as an organization need to meet the need. And if you can become a family member of ours and support the greater community, we would appreciate it.
I love
Uh, Through our volunteerism, I would connect you with our volunteer manager, Joanne Katz. Joanne can walk you through the different opportunities that we have available, begin a conversation about the ways in which you feel you would like to become involved or ways that you feel that you can contribute to the organization. And we can find a way to get you involved. We can find a way to find the opportunity to get you volunteering and supporting the greater community as we go through this life together.
I love that. You said become part of the family. So we will invite everyone watching this to become part of the Keystone Opportunity Center family, and we will include this information at the end of the show notes. So Brandon, thank you so much for sharing the work that you do, and thank you for being our guest.
I thank you very much, Katrina. To everyone out there, again, if you want to get involved, please contact us. We're a great organization doing great work and looking to find different ways to support the community.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Take care.